a guy was on the train coming, and a guy snatched my bag like this, or another bag I had like this, and it had my license and my ID and all that in it. And my ID and all that in it. So she was typing all that in and stuff. She said, "No, the money's still coming up, but you got to get that money." And she typed and she typed, and I said, "He was a dark-skinned black man." She typed that shit in and said, "We wave your feet." We wave. I said, "Some say spiritual, you better tell that motherfucker he was dark." I said, "I got mugged. It was a dark-skinned black person." And the girl was typing that shit in, and she said, "They just wave your feet." Show you how the system is set up a certain way. She said, that just saved you $175. You see what I'm saying? Because it was the last flight out, so that means the next day you got to pay. See, if it was a couple of flights after that, they just put you on the next flight. But this is the last one. I said, "Sometimes you got to talk to the dark-skinned brother." I was lying, and because I said, and she was like, "No, you still might have to pay. I know your stuff got, your stuff got something." I said, "It was a dark-skinned black man." And she typed that shit in, and she said, "That just saved you $175. Ain't that some shit? Yeah. I'm here to tell you. Let's move on. So now, there's like I said, now let me tell you another thing that's going on. Show you what's going down. My mate got a friend named Clyde in D.C. So Clyde got sick, went to the emergency room, knowing they wasn't gonna keep him. He just faked the fall out on the damn ground. Just fell out in the emergency room. Faked the shit. They put him in the hospital room and all that kind of thing. They came back the next morning and told that motherfucker he HIV positive. Let me tell you how you do shit.
Right.
They were like, "Okay, you a smart ass nigga." They came back and said HIV positive. Then they said, "Hold on now." They said, "Man, you got it made. You can get any kind of benefits you want now. You just got to fill out a stack of papers." And the papers that they had him fill it out, it was like making him a new citizen. So just like you say, you got the Moors over here, you got this solvent group over here, you got that solvent group over here. The way this thing is breaking down in the country, they got a whole citizen for people who so-called HIV positive. You see what I'm saying? Then the next thing, they shipped him off the next day to some damn mental institution. And he got to sign himself out and he got the hell on. All for falling out in the damn hospital room. See, that's how this stuff is going on. Now, I say that to give you this particular information. This is very key. Very key. When we first got down with this elixir and mixed this stuff up, we was drinking this stuff, drank it all night, and then the brother would get in the car and go and get in the car. And as soon as he cut the car on, he would become sober. Because it was a spirit. It's a spirit thing. He was because it was HP balanced. And he would become sober. We was drinking this stuff and was healing. Told one sister, she said she had diabetes. It was some nurses he was hanging out with. One nurse was drinking this stuff and getting healed. Others said, "You need to get on this thing here." And I got diabetes, I got high blood. But I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You say you spiritual, but then again, you taking the diagnosis of what you white folks are saying. She never would get down with the healing. So about September, I'm at the post office and I see this girl come out and she all fucked up looking. I'm like, damn. What happened? I just got out of the hospital and all this stuff again. I'm like, damn. You fucked up. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I'm at the post office and I see this woman walking with a damn cane and shit. She ain't but 50 years old now. She was in her 40s when we were saying this thing in the early 2000s, this 2002. So she's like late 40s, she's like 50, maybe 51, 52 or something. She walking like this and shit. I'm like, wait a minute, you didn't have a stroke. You didn't have a heart attack. They say that high blood pressure is a silent killer. You don't even know you got the damn thing. What the fuck you all fucked up like this? What the hell going on here? Okay. My mama started to take a turn for the worse. She going through dementia, all this slumber. Kind of crazy shit happening. They got her straight. They went back down there. She's 68. They go back. Next thing you know, she on a walker. And they got to feed her. My brother said, hold on, fuck that. You coming with me. Took her back to Atlanta. And on a week, cured her. She walking around just cool, la-da-da-da-da and stuff, you know. She walking around like ain't nothing happened. And I'm like, he said, man, I said, well, what happened? He said, well, all we did was we just stopped her medication. So they had on 5 different high blood pressure medicines. Now, then he go in and said, they had to feed her. Now, how many people on high blood pressure medicine? I know some black people over here on high blood pressure medicine. Well, but you motherfuckers won't say nothing. Let me tell you what's going down. You see, for some people it's getting scared. You just need to get the diet. Just face what you're scared about, then and let some doctor put you up in the hospital and make a guinea pig out of you.
That's right.
Now let me explain what's going down with this high blood pressure thing. They'll come and they'll give you say you're high blood, and every black man gonna think they're gonna have high blood. You see what I'm saying? Now I just in 99, I don't mess around no doctor. But in 99, when I drive with one of my boys, he got hit in the back. I'm like, well, shit, man, my neck hurting a little bit, man. You know, trying to go and get that money. You know what I mean? You know, trying to go get that money. So I went up in there and played a little game, and went up in the doctor, but I chose this holistic doctor, Dr. Richardson. You know, in the herb and all his alternative stuff, but he does both practices. He's certified, so I went up in there and he pumping my shit, pumping my blood pressure, and they went and stuff. They start calling in nurses. We never seen nothing like this. Your shit done gone off the screen. We're gonna need to invent some no more machines just to track your blood pressure. Track your blood pressure. They were scared, so Bobby, you don't want to lose. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Are you crazy, nigga? I'm a spirit man. That's how I meet all y'all niggas, man. Not saying I want to, but because like I said, Marvin Gaye or Bob Marley or Jimi Hendrix, they'll always be young.
No doubt.
You'll never look like Richard Pryor did. You'll always know them as young. That's why the Egyptians say foolish are the long-lived. Now, but you know, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? Point I ain't trying to tell you, like, now George Carlin got a thing out talking about the suicide channel. Telling niggas to kill themselves. We're going to make the suicide channel. Now, but, what it was is, my high blood pressure was so high, the first thing I said was Kundalini. Kundalini energy.
That's right.
I know rising, my Kundalini started rising in 1994. Everybody Kundalini is risen to a certain level because that's how you are conscious. But my stuff started rising and went to the head in 1994. So by 1999, my body has to have a whole nother system that it's up under, based on the spiritual aspect. And it's all recorded in this book I've been talking about for years. Lillian Silver's book, Kundalini of Depths. Lillian Silver's book. It's in this book. It's also in this book, The Triadic Heart of Shiva. Paul Eduardo. These particular books show you what's going on with the high blood. There's a war going on. Now, a woman comes in, she's from Panama, dark-skinned sister. She came in and she looked at me, she said, you don't got no high blood pressure. She's in the spirit though. She's spiritual. She said, you don't got no high blood pressure. I said, I know. I'm just trying to get this damn money from this insurance. You know? I gotta play this game, you know, my neck hurt. So she said, you don't got no high blood pressure. So I knew it. So I told the doctor, I said, look, you want me to slow this shit down? When I come up in here Wednesday, that was on a Monday. So when I come back Wednesday, it'll be gone. So when I came back Wednesday, they couldn't find no blood pressure. They said, what you? I said, all I did is went and meditated and just looked at my blood. I just imagined my blood system and just slowed the shit down. I slowed my heart down and all the kind of shit. The point I'm trying to make here is they fighting a war because they understand that when the God like say that shit don't work. Then they give you some more. And then you give you these 5 doses, and then you become a zombie. Walking in shit, a zombie and shit. What this thing is this now. This is the key. They get you going and coming. What they got in high blood pressure is none other than AZT. And AZT does what? Destroys the cells. There is no AIDS. There's only AZT poisoning. Now, try to understand this now. If this woman is a 50-year-old woman, and the next thing you know, she walking, she all dried up like an AIDS patient and walking on a stick. In 2-3 months, it's the same stuff that they're giving the AIDS people when they just declare you have AIDS and they do something about it and make it AIDS by giving you the AZT. They put it in the high blood pressure medicine. So you can be a fool if you want to. You done heard it from me. High blood pressure medicine. That's the key. They're trying to stop your spiritual growth. You see. Number 2, also, I talked about this in Virginia. It's on some tapes. You got to get the pineapple or pineapple juice. I even found out that just regular Dole pineapple juice now works. But that is the stuff for the cells when your cells are mutating, is that pineapple juice. As a matter of fact, if you take that in the morning, you ain't got to worry about no cold or nothing. What's the stuff in it? You got some stuff in the pineapple juice. Somebody know the name? Bromelain. Bromelain. That is the key. That is the stuff for your cells as they mutate. Is the pineapple juice. That's the key. You see. Gotta take the pineapple juice even in the morning. You get that pineapple juice in the morning. And I was finding this out. The Dole, because at first I was saying, they put sugar in it, but I was looking at this thing and all. The Dole pineapple juice, I took some of that shit and it started working. You see what I'm saying? The pineapple juice, that's one of the keys on what is needed for you to sustain yourself when it comes to this particular new aspect of your DNA riding. Still on this DNA thing that's going down. Y'all all right? Now, moving right along. I was talking about that the New Orleans thing was based on this book, Voodoo Mistress, by Ray Marlboro. I talked about that a couple of months ago during the Katrina thing. A lot of the stuff that's going on in this thing, Voodoo Mistress, is by Ray Marlboro. Now, what this is there's a war going on, and there was a war that was actually going on in New Orleans. Now, anybody noticed in New Orleans when they went and they would go up to the house supposed to have the dead in it, or dead people in it, you would see something like this. See if I can get a, hold on. You would see something like this on the house. Anybody saw this one have numbers on it?
Right.
On the houses. These were things that they were doing, what there was a ritual going on. They was offering these dead bodies up to certain entities. So what is that? Let me explain what's going on here. Anybody saw these things going on? You have a white piece of chalk and they will put them on the houses. Now they say they got 50,000 dead. And you know it's got to be that because all of a sudden they're making all kinds of excuses why they can't give a person a body count. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, the DNA is all messed up now. They can get DNA from a fossil that's 1 billion years old. You can't get DNA from a nigga from August? But they're trying to wait because they know that that's not happening. They're trying to justify or make it go away on all these bodies that they sacrificed. Now, that they sacrificed. Now, first of all, when you get to take 9/11 road to martial law, Gary, what's my guy name again? Alex Jones. Alex Jones and stuff, you can call that TJ, he can make some available to you. You know what I'm saying? You want to drop him a few dollars. That's how we do these things. He got a copy of it. Alex Jones, Road to Martial Law. In there, they talk about how they sacrifice these babies to Bohemian Grove. There's a group of white folks out in California, Bohemian Grove, and they were there on sacrificing babies. Okay? Sacrificing babies. I don't know what they do. They eat them or whatever they do. They get the energy or whatever. They just need freshly born babies. So now, they had these black women told them in order for them to get on the bus in New Orleans, they had to give up their babies. And these fools, now this is funny now. This is a black woman. They tell you, you want to get on the bus? You got to give up your baby. Put your baby here on this bus here. And these zombies gave the babies up. But let's notice this picture here. But yet there was a white woman was sitting on a bridge. They was trying to rescue her. And she said, I ain't going. So the helicopter left, and then the news people came out and said, why you didn't get on the helicopter? She said, they told me that I couldn't get on the helicopter with my dog, and I wasn't going nowhere without this little dog. See how free people is? She said, we're not going nowhere, I'm not going nowhere without the dog. And then they told black people to give up their babies. And they got on the bus and they ain't seen their babies yet. A couple of hundred babies missing. They done sacrificed them to go Bohemian Grove with these white folks. Because there's a ritual going on. You see what's going down here now? To try to understand what's going on here is this. In the Skull and Bones from Yale, they deal with the skull and the bones. Well, they deal with the skull and the bones. Now, they got a skull, and then they got the bones, you know the deal. And they deal with the skull and the bones. Now, they found out, because they don't deal with stuff that don't work. They only deal with our ancient stuff. They adopted a guy by the name of Baron Samedi, or Baron Samedi, from Voodoo. And they sacrifice things to Baron Samedi. Well, let me explain something about these entities. Some of these entities, they have a certain, they need to be fed to keep their energies up. And the African people feed them chickens and goats or whatever. But they had so many people from alarming rates of black people abandoning the spiritual systems of voodoo or whatever. Whereas New Orleans was 90% Christian until the Skull and Bones said, well, shit, we'll take it up. So they started actually giving rituals and sacrificing people and babies to Baron Samedi. For some reason, if they have a system, and they should take a certain deity and induct that deity and put that deity in that system, and they have been having success with surviving in that system, then what they want to do is they would want to continue to give this deity offerings, and this is how this thing goes on, these ritualistic things, so that they can get a certain amount of energy so that they can continue to survive. So as a result, they needed a mass ritual because they know that something is coming down and they're losing power, they're losing energy. And they needed a mass ritual. So what they did is they all